Radio Rahim with Frank Warren victorious tonight. The whole team. I couldn't see you guys ringside, but talk to me about when that knockout punch came for Fury in the 11th.
Oh, God, relief. Absolute relief. I mean, you had two warriors in there. I mean, unbelievable warriors. It took two to make that fight. Deontay Wilder as well as Tyson. And Tyson at the end, he prevailed. You know, his strength, his will to win, his boxing, superior boxing ability. And at the end of the day, everybody keeps underestimating him. He can punch. He can punch. And it was a great ending as far as we was concerned. And, but, you know, it was a fight that the best heavyweight I've seen live. Heavyweight fight I've seen live. Just phenomenal, exciting. Crowds must have loved it. There was times when all caution went to the wind and they just slugged it out. It had everything, the drama, strength, skills, power. Don't get no better than that.
Was there ever another fight you can remember that had you emotionally on a roller coaster like this one?
Not that I was involved in it, like Bow and Holyfield and fights like, you know, going back to them, or the Frazier and Ali fights. It's up there, you know. Look, that fight was amazing. I mean, it was just there were two amazing guys in there. You know, massive puncher, statistically the biggest puncher in the last 40 years in heavyweight boxing on its statistics, and Tyson with his fantastic chin. And what I mean by a fantastic chin, when you go on the floor, you go down. Guys with good chins get up before 10 and carry on. And he showed that, and he showed what he's made of. It was just phenomenal. It was a privilege to be part of it, and watching these two guys in there giving their all, putting everything on the line, and it don't get no better than that. I mean, that for me is boxing.
Was there a moment in the fight where you thought, well, Tyson might lose this thing?
I got annoyed a couple of times because I knew he could do better. It was the fact that, you know, there was times when he was throwing his jab, when he was getting the jab going, he was really doing well with the jab and letting the right hands go. But there's a couple of times when I think if he'd have stood back, and it's easy for me to say, I'm sitting outside, you know, watching it. But if he'd have just took a step back and then put it back on him again, I think he would have stopped him earlier. But what he was doing, he was 3 shots and they were falling onto each other. Probably because I mean, it must have been a very exhausting, tiring fight. What it must have taken out of both guys, because they gave everything they had.
Tyson said he'd run over Wilder like a Mack truck. He was a huge favorite. A lot of people didn't give Wilder much chance at all in this fight. After this knockdown in the second round, the first one of Wilder, did you think, this thing's going to be over, maybe even a shorter night than last time out?
I did. I honestly did. I thought to myself, I thought, what can Deontay do? He's not going to outbox him. But that first round when he came out and he was throwing all those body shots, like long body shots, and I could put myself, I know what you're doing here. You're throwing him, you're trying to get him drop your hands, because he throws those looping unorthodox punches sometimes, Wilder. And I was waiting for him to throw that over, and I thought this is to be dangerous with him. And he had a good first round. But I thought, you know, if it's going to come to it, like I think when we talked about, I said, you know, asked me how I thought the fight go. I said, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that at the end of it, that's what it'd be, and that's how it went up. But I thought maybe if it went 5 rounds, I'd be surprised. But Wilder, you've got to take your hat off to him, man.
Now, the improvement that we saw from Wilder has to be a mention. What do you accredit that to? And what did you think was his biggest adjustment that made him more successful, although without the win in this fight?
I think that first round, the way he went about it, you know, what he did, and he just had that desire there. And I knew, you know, Tyson had to catch him. That was what was the most important thing was for him.
That's probably the queen.
That's the queen. I'll tell you. Your Majesty, I'll call you back later. No, he had to. You know, it was catching him clean. And you know, and he, when he did do that, he hurt him. He hurt him a few times. But you know, at the end is how it ended, and the clean shots he was hitting with it is what I expected earlier on in the fight. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in boxing? You know, one punch changes fights dramatically, doesn't it? But Wilder, as I say, I'll take my hat off to it. It was like a combination of the 2 previous fights, and you know, if you look at them how they were, with Tyson going down in that fight, coming back and him knocking him over and everything, it was the combination of the 2 fights.
Fury said that Wilder didn't receive him in the corner.
He told me that, Tyson. I was it's a bit disappointing. I mean, it's disappointing after the last fight, the way he, all the ridiculous crap he come out with and the reasons why he got beat. But this, he was a true warrior, and he should, at that stage, I thought there's going to be some respect there. And Tyson went over to him. It's not like Tyson said, screw you, I told you I'd do that. He went over to shake his hand, and he didn't want to know. So what are you going to do?
If you were taking or looking after Wilder, 3 fights like this, and like Fury said in the post-fight press conference, taking punches, that kind of punishment, takes a lot out of a guy. Fury took his share as well tonight, but they hurt a little bit less when you win. What would you advise Wilder to do going forward?
He's good. Obviously, going to take some time out. What I would advise him to do is to actually watch the fight back and watch the second fight back, and be honest with yourself. It does have to be the end of his career. If he wishes to box on, then that's his choice and whatever. But he's never going to beat Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury is the #1 standout heavyweight of his generation. But he will never beat him. He's had many opportunities with those knockdowns, and Tyson's absorbed them, come back even stronger each time he's gone down.
Well, whenever we see something exciting in boxing, especially as epically classic as that was on the night, fans sometimes want to see it again and again and again. We saw Pacquiao Marquez 4. Would we see Fury Wilder 4?
I don't know about that. I mean, if they get in the ring again, they keep seeing each other, why not marrying each other? I mean, keep them apart. No, it's. I think we'll wait a while before we even think about that.
Well, you've got to be looking now with very intent eyes on Joshua Usyk.
Yeah.
I know you've thought about that and been asked about that all week, but now that there's a certainty on this side of the ring, what do you hope that fight shakes out like?
Well, look, as a Brit, I'd like to see Joshua win, because then it would set up the fight that all Britain wants to see. It's a massive thing over in there, and I'd like to do that really from the fact of, to prove my little bit of ego that I always said that Tyson would knock him out, and I'm sure he would knock him out. But Usyk, I've got to take my hat off to him, and I take my hat off to his father. Lomachenko's father is a great trainer. And Sugar Hill done a good job, by the way, tonight. And I take my hat off to him, and I think if he did fight Usyk, I think they are similar in their skills. They both got good hand speed, they've got good footwork, they've got good jab, they've both got great boxing brains. I think Tyson just must be too big for him. And he would be too big for probably most heavyweights of any era. He's a 6'7" guy, the reach he's got, the how fast he is. He's a standout heavyweight.
Well, while we're crediting trainers, we have to mention Malik Scott's performance there in the corner.
Yeah. Hats off to him. Yeah, Malik, well done. Done well.
Well, Frank Warren, well done. Because I know that these kind of victories are hard to come by in the sport, especially in the heavyweight division. Yeah. And you've got it tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in ringside again, hopefully soon, as we see Undisputed, which is what we all want.
We all do want to do that, Raymond. We want to do that.
Yeah. Wait, let me sign off with you. Radio Rahim with Frank Warren.
The man.